the Jim and Terry Show, coming to you from the Hobbit Host Studio. And Bob Cajun, I'm a co-host.
and I have moved to Taiwan.
Yes, you're hiding.
I'm hiding.
No extradition treaty from Taiwan? I thought we did.
Well, we were talking about it, but if you think of look at some of the prominent Americans who have left. George Clooney has left. Roseanne Barr has left.
Okay, why are these people who are, decent people? Why are they?
I don't know.
Oh, George Clooney?
Why did what's her name? Degenerate. What's her name? DeGeneres? Helen. She moved to England.
Actress.
Now she came back, and she apparently couldn't pick up because apparently she's unbelievably horrible. I don't know how true. Allegedly, unbelievably horrible, and involved heavily in Epstein files. So then we got Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think, has moved to Brazil, and we have others making deal. What you were right with Argentina, and so. And we have the Kushners wanting to buy an entire historic island, and I haven't heard anything about that, so I bet you they just secretly bought it. They just went to the guy and said, "We'll just pay you for it. Don't worry about it. Nobody's paying attention. We'll move in."
Did you see the protest over that island purchase?
Yeah, but you just say it's not on, but it is. I mean, that's all you do with that, probably.
Oh, you just ignore it.
And they're only going to rent it, or whatever, but they own it. And it's enough to house the Trump family and everybody else, right? I wonder if you would just accidentally leave, Melania behind.
You speculate, my friend. Well, let's get into what we're talking about. The Jim and Terry Show. I'm one of your co-hosts, Terry, and with me is my good friend Jim. And we're sort of celebrating after 3 weeks not being behind the mic. And a gym anyway.
And I put weight on and everything.
In 3 weeks?
Well, because I jog here.
You took it off then. All right, carrying on to the notion that people might be taking up residence and purchasing property outside the continental United States because you are suspecting they will be pursued by a new government, a democratically elected Senate, and a swap of the Congress control so that Democrats get control of both houses and the presidency by 2028.
Well, let's just look at it. Who then are they going to be going after? Hegseth. He broke the law.
Well, let's just
all right.
Back it up. Just
I'm backing.
Okay, back it up. Here we go. The prior statement is that normally a change of government does not involve prosecutions of anyone. Normally, you don't go after the people who did stuff. Even Tricky Dicky back in the Richard Nixon.
Well, he had to be pardoned.
He had to be pardoned. Who did the pardoning for him?
Gerald Ford?
Was it Gerald Ford? I think you're right. Good memory for you. So he had to be pardoned, but they didn't go after him. They didn't subpoena him. He didn't have to appear before a court. Now, Trump's already appeared in New York State. Right? He's 34 felony count conviction.
Well, they're going to be impeached, all of them.
Well, nothing's happened. And if it hasn't happened yet, what makes you think it will?
Because they can't get it through the government. But as soon as they change hands, you got Hegseth. You got Caroline Levitt, probably. You've got...
what would she be subpoenaed for?
Lying. I don't know, misguiding the people. I don't know. Trump for breaking numerous laws, supporting and financing.
You make it sound like the United States is capable of holding its own accountable, and it's not. That's why we got to where we are right now.
Well, you might be right on that, but I think a number of people could be ending up heading to jail should Trump lose.
I'm rooting for you.
He cannot lose, and those people have already sold their souls. They've already
Do you have the receipts for that?
They've broken all kinds of laws. Well, even moral laws. We know that the DOJ is loyal to Donald Trump. He's not loyal to the United States.
You're speaking of the newly elected, approved Todd Blanche.
Yeah. And then we also know that Trump has destroyed an historic site at the White House and now they've got a great big giant 8-story deep pit there that he's building on a site that he had no right to do. He's broke the law there again. And all the people, especially Hagstaff, he just broke the law. He boldly just said, we're just killing them all. We love it. Here's a boat we're blowing up. You don't know who's on the boat, what's on the boat. Could be a bunch of babies on that boat.
You're talking about the Venezuelan attacks.
The Venezuela attacks. They broke the law in all of that. The raid on the country broke the law. The raid on Iran, he broke the law. They and everybody involved with him are committing war crimes. They blew up schools, for Pete's sakes. Trump announced, Hagstaff announced, they were going to be blowing up bridges and power plants. That's against the law. So these guys have broken the law. They are lawbreakers as far as the world community is concerned. Right? So they've done that.
But the United States has never signed on to the International Criminal Court. Did you know that?
Well, then no wonder they can just break the law.
Did you know that our Governor General served on the International Criminal Court?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so I think we're setting Canada up to be a reasonable replacement.
I think that's what we're looked at. Already they're saying all we had to do is show the world that we've had it with the United States.
And we're going to stand up.
And we're going to stand up. And I think the rest of the world is going to rally around Canada to be that North America presence. And then we have a lot to offer the world. Mm-hmm. And I think if the United States doesn't raid us and kick the crap out of us before we have that opportunity, it is the renaissance for Canada, not the United States. The United States is going to fall.
And we've discussed what that will look like, and you're citing the Civil War movie as a possible outcome.
Well, the reason he wants that $1,700,000 is to finance his personal army, which was all thrown in jail because they broke the law.
And so you're talking about the Proud Boys,
all
Oath Keepers.
He's just going to hire them. That's going to be his.
Well, they're already hired in ICE. They're part of the ICE raids.
Yeah, but it's all look how much money they've invested in ICE.
Yeah.
That's his army. That's his army.
ICE is...
Hagstaff will betray his country. He will betray his country. So another general, if there's anyone left that has a spine, will have to step up. So it's going to be a private army against an army. And that's coming. I may be wrong, but I don't think so.
Do you remember the movie Red Dawn, in which the rural kids with guns saved America by attacking the paratrooper Russians who invaded?
Yeah, no.
Well, I'm just thinking.
But this is not a movie. This would be horrible. And at that particular time, that's why I'm saying everybody hold off, because there may not be any trade war to have. They may be wrapped up in their own destruction.
Isn't that
and then, of course, it's the moral part that I'm seeing, and I don't want to get into it because some of it you and me would really disagree, and why bother wasting all our time. But the moral aspects of this country now, I just think can't stand. I think eventually, like all other countries, the punishment's coming. And I hope we have mercy on Canada.
Right.
I hope we have mercy on the United States. I just don't know who's going to be able to patch this back up.
Well, it has to be started, though. You have to turn the page.
Yeah.
And Trump, does a prosecution need to happen in order for America to turn a page?
No. I think, how did it turn a page last time? There was a civil war. And the Civil War, out of the ashes of that horrendous war, came the United States that advanced on to be the greatest, most powerful nation in the world. And I think unfortunately, it's going to take a dismantling before you can mantle it back up.
And one of the parallels between the current Trump administration, ICE, Department of Homeland Security, rounding up people who are American citizens just because you had a suspicion or a profile, that was McCarthy in the 50s. 1954, he reigned. He was almost more powerful than the president until he wasn't. But it took Congress and the Senate to rein in this rogue.
Have we not got the same arguments?
We do. And
everybody's going communism.
Yes, that's the same as Joseph McCarthy.
Lose your nation, yet the only person who's acting like a communist is the Trump administration.
Yes.
And yet they're pointing the finger over there and saying they're all communists.
Remember, the big burden with communism is that it was under an authoritarian regime.
There you go.
So communism is an economic position about labor and ownership. And the real problem was Stalin as an authoritarian leader. Brutal. Same as Trump.
Exactly.
Brutal.
And what's Trump saying to the companies? Well, give me some of the money, and then you can be here. Give us a share. And once they have a share, then they're going to make all kinds of decisions.
Quid pro quo is Trump. So transactional.
Yep.
Jim and Terry Show, calling it as we see it. Bye-bye for now.